Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. We hope that the series that we are offering is helpful in some way, at least helpful in terms of understanding the process of revelation and the chronology of revelation. Because often that aspect somehow misses when we read the Quran, that in what conditions and what circumstances and in what order the Quran was revealed. So today is the 20th day, and in fact the night that we would have tonight would be the first night of Laylatul Qadr. And certainly we would make the best use of that night. And what is interesting is that somehow the message that would emerge from these four surahs would reinforce the ideas of Laylatul Qadr, the night of power, and the journey that human beings have in terms of connecting with the divine guidance. So we will focus on, in terms of chronology, the surahs 73rd, 74th, 75th, and 76th. So 73rd surah is Surah Al-Anbiya. In the traditionally arranged Quran, it is 21st. Surah Al-Muminun, which is 74th in terms of revelation, is 23rd in terms of the arrangement. Surah As-Sajdah, which is 75th in terms of revelation, is 32nd in terms of its arrangement, and Surah At-Tur is 76th in its revelation, but 52nd in its arrangement in the Quran. Surah An-Anbiya has 112 ayahs. Surah Al-Muminun has 118 ayahs. Surah Sajdah has 30 ayahs, and Surah At-Tur has 49 ayahs, and all these four ayahs were revealed in Mecca. Surah An-Anbiya is challenging that idea that has often been promoted by religious clergy and is still being promoted, that man has been created in the image of God. The Quran is saying that nobody understands and knows what the image of God is. Nobody has seen God, and nobody has an idea of what the image of God is. Yes, there are qualities and there are characteristics that God defines himself with. And it basically promotes the idea that God has always spoken with the humanity through the messengers that he selects on the basis of his discretion. So he decides on the basis of the discretion who is capable of receiving the guidance from him so that he could share it with the other human beings. And the greatest quality of the prophets is that they do not insert their own ideas in the divine guidance when they receive it, and they honestly pass it on to others. The second greatest characteristic of the prophethood is that they live the message that they share with others. So Surah An-Anbiya basically talks about the prophets as a team, as a group of people, as people who are promoting the same ideas throughout human histories, who are not against each other in terms of promoting the divine guidance or in terms of living the divine guidance. You would not find a single instance in the history of all the prophets where they said something and they did something else. Surah Al-Muminun gives human beings the tools to lead the life that the prophets lived. Certainly the human beings cannot be the prophets because they are not receiving the divine guidance. But they have the capability and the capacity to live the life on the footsteps of their prophets. And it is in this particular context saying that the moral and ethical way that the prophets have taught are the ones that human beings and the believers especially should follow. The other Surah Sajdah also promoting a very interesting and very powerful idea in human history, and that is the use of rationality versus the use of whimsical ideas or the use of what we call assumptions or non-factual things that we call reality. And it's a very powerful thing that the Quran is promoting, that idea that the rationality is the foundation of human progress. That without rationality, human beings would not be able to discover the true essence of knowledge. That they would not be able to understand the secrets that exist in this universe and the laws that exist in this universe. And it says that the reliance on God is primarily an act of rationality. How does the Quran say? Quran says that when you rely on God, you are relying on that source that has created the laws in this universe. You're not relying on individuals who are still learning those laws, who are still struggling to find out the truth. So if you make your own efforts to understand those laws that the divine has created, you are in a better position to connect with God Almighty. And it is in this particular context the Quran is making the point that rationality indeed is the essence of life. In Surah At-Tur, Quran is basically demolishing the ideas and the accusations that people were having in the Quran, that all these kind of things of rationality, all these things of sharing the divine guidance through messengers or morality and ethics are simply the poetical ideas or ideals that cannot be implemented in life. And here in this particular surah, it is being said that no, look at the life of the Prophet, look at the lives of the companions, look at the life of those people who are believers, who are putting those ideas into reality because they realize the consequences of ignoring those ideas. So once again, if we summarize these 4 surahs, we find that it is reminding us that the humanity in essence is one, that humanity could reach to the oneness based on rationality, based on morality and ethics, and also based on the ideas that the divine guidance is genuine. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم.
We hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to our channel.